What's going on, Chelsea fans? It's your boy Jay Jax. This afternoon, Chelsea have comfortably beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0, and I'm delighted. What a performance. It was the perfect afternoon. The sun was shining. I actually had a bit of FOMO, all the supporters there at Stamford Bridge. This was an absolute treat of a game to watch live, I'm sure. It was beautiful from the comfortable settings of my sofa, but being there, I must say I did envy some of the fans there today because there was just so much going on and the performance was just fantastic. And Graham Potter picks up another win in the Premier League. We pick up our second 3-0 win of the week and things are all good at the Bridge. This was a game full of narratives. First of all, managerless Wolves, they were the perfect team for us to play. We had the perfect opportunity to showcase our depth and we did just that. Looking at Graham Potter's starting 11, no Thiago Silva. Fofana we know is injured. Reece James, absent. We also see no Aubameyang, no Raheem Sterling. And the players that have come in, this was their opportunity to fight, more importantly, for their place in the team and show how they can be of service and how we can rotate this squad and be comfortable relying on players when there's injuries or when we need to rest players. And that was what this game was about, and it was mission accomplished. Graham Potter can leave the Bridge this afternoon knowing it was mission accomplished on that front. Everything was perfect. The new manager bounce is in full effect. Potter is got this squad harmony. Everyone is chipping in. Everyone is helping out. Everyone is encouraging each other, and you can just see the positivity, the patience, the calmness. If we're not scoring, the first 20 minutes we were all over Wolves and it wasn't going in the back of the net. It looked like we should have scored, but we kept our composure. We remained defensively sound and the goals came. For me, this game was really about the rotation. That is the biggest takeaway from this game, because Graham Potter has rested Aubameyang, Sterling, Thiago Silva and Reece James, and players have stepped in and done a fantastic job. We need to know who we can rely on. We need this fight from the players that are perhaps not guaranteed a starting 11, who are maybe slightly falling out of favour and are dipping in and out of form. And we saw that. Azpilicueta, this was a game he needed. Again, another key performance from a Chelsea player who has been a bit out of favour, but he puts in a solid performance. He was one of our best players in the first half. He was everywhere. He was doing everything going forward. He was doing his duties going back. And we could have probably scored 2 or 3 goals, and it was all coming from Cesar Azpilicueta. We need to be able to rest Reece James when needed, because we're so heavily reliant on him, and we need Azpilicueta to just step in. 90 minutes was probably a bit too much for him. He is getting on, but what he did for 2/3 of that game was outstanding, and he gave way to Reece James late in the second half, but it was job well done for Cesar Azpilicueta. I thought he was brilliant. For me, man of the match, Mason Mount put in a fantastic performance. It was a much better game from him. Things were coming off from him. He was creative, he was a spark, he was tenacious. Everything that we have known to love and grow familiar with Mason Mount, he executed this game perfectly. He was everywhere. He assists both of the goals. The cross for Kai Havertz's goal was sublime. The give and go with Christian Pulisic for his goal was fantastic. And he pretty much had a perfect game, albeit a goal. So Mason Mount, for me, man of the match. And that is what we want to see from Mason Mount. You know, that's the player that we rely on heavily. Looks a lot happier tactically. He can affect games better. He's far further up the pitch. He's linking up with the forward players, and I think we're going to see Mason Mount really kick on from here. He's going to add a few more goals and assists to his game, and he's going to have much more well-rounded numbers come the halfway point of the season. Pulisic as well. We've got to give a tip of the hat to Christian Pulisic. He's been out of form. He's been out of favour. He looks miserable when he comes on. He starts this game and he's persistent. He should have scored in the first half, but he keeps going. The give and go with Mason Mount. The finish, we know he's got that in his locker. It's a delightful finish. Absolutely perfect dink over the keeper. And this is what we want from Christian Pulisic. We know he's got it. We just want to see it on a more frequent basis. And the fact that he's got this goal and this type of goal is going to do wonders for his confidence, and the Chelsea supporters are going to get much more behind him as we were before. Kai Havertz scores a great goal. Wasn't massively involved in the game at times. He did drift in and out. Like, I guess a lot of things were coming to him, but he couldn't quite get on the end of them. But that's fine. He remained calm, patient. He scores a fantastic goal. And then Armando Broja in the 90th minute scoring his first goal for Chelsea. And what a goal it is. He had a lot to do. He's on the edge of the box. He cuts it to his right and he just bangs it in the bottom right corner. The keeper had no chance. What a finish. And that is what these introductions of Armando Broja in the 65th, 70th minute, this is what we've been waiting on. And he took his opportunity. He barely had many opportunities to take, but he took that one. If we actually think about it, we've had Armando Broja, Kai Havertz and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang all score in the same week. Striking problem finally solved. Something is working on that Cobham training ground. I have to give Mason Mount the man of the match, but the honourable mention has got to be Conor Gallagher. He kicks on again. Wonderful performance from Conor Gallagher. He's deployed in a far more offensive role, and that, I think, is the only way we're really going to be able to get the best out of him. He is not a think defensively first type of player. He wants to attack the game first and think defensively second. He is a great defensive player, but that is not his strongest attribute. He wants to be going forward. He wants to be creating things, collect the ball in the transition, making key passes, and we saw that today. He was everywhere. You get such a work rate from Conor Gallagher, and it was another fantastic performance. Jorginho, I thought, was also solid. I've been a bit harsh on Jorginho the past couple of games because he's a man of limited resources, and when he doesn't make the most of those resources, he doesn't really offer you much. But this was a game where he did very well. He was always making the passes on the swivel. He always had his head up, trying to create chances. He held his position well, stood up to players, and we saw a bit of aggression, that dogged performance from Jorginho that we are used to, and we saw that today. We even got to witness Diego Costa back at the bridge get a lap of honour. He takes the long route round the pitch, he claps it, he completely soaks it all up, laps it up, and I'm delighted. That was a small anecdote of the game that really put a smile on my face. Like, to see Diego Costa back at the bridge and getting that love from the Chelsea supporters and appreciating it, knowing that what a special player he is for us. Legend status has been cemented for Diego Costa. It's just so good to see him back. If I have to be harsh and look for some of the negatives of the game, I guess it wasn't a super assured performance from Kepa. I think whilst we are looking so much better playing the ball out from the back and passing the ball amongst our back three, back four, we're looking so much better in that area, but we are sort of looking a bit complacent when the ball is in the air, and we need the keeper to make a dominating decision to parry that ball out or collect the ball. That is not Kepa Arrizabalaga's strongest point, and that is what Edouard Mendy is probably most known for and most equipped to do. And it feels like there's probably a conversation between how we've got Kepa and Mendy, and we need a bit of both in one goalkeeper. We've got two keepers that are probably on the opposite end of the spectrum in their abilities and their height, and we need probably a goalkeeper that's a bit more well-rounded in both of these areas. But this is me trying to be harsh. I thought Kepa had a decent game aside from some nervy moments, and I'm pleased for Kepa to be putting in more performances and to see him play, because he has been very patient and a true professional, and he deserves the game time, and he is playing well. And I don't want to be harsh, but that's probably me looking for a negative of the game. That was one of them. Marc Cucurella, for me, again, I think it's quite clear Ben Chilwell is got to be favoured over Marc Cucurella. He had a tough challenge today. I mean, trying to play against Adama Traore is a tough challenge for any wing-back. So Cucurella, I'm doing him a bit of an injustice, but I do felt like just seeing Chilwell get that run of games and then seeing Cucurella come in, there's a clear dip in performance and efficiency on that side when Cucurella plays compared to when Ben Chilwell plays. So that's me being harsh again. I do feel like Chilwell definitely starts over Cucurella. Chelsea fans, it was a perfect afternoon. So many positives, so many things to take away. I want to know what your biggest positive was from that game. Armando Broja, was it Mason Mount back to his best? Was it Pulisic scoring a key goal for him and for his confidence? Was it the introduction of Carney Chukwuemeka? Was it Diego Costa's lap of honour? So many things happened in our favour. Was it Graham Potter? Was it the managerial bounce that is coming, that is in full effect? Is it the fact that we're building momentum? I want to know. Guys, if you can like this video, it's a huge help. New subscribers, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I will see you guys in the next video. Come on, you Chelsea.